Hey guys, I know that intro was a little bit silly compared to my usual content, but I thought I did a good job of explaining the defuse game mode when something goes wrong, and that UCAV attack actually killed 60% of my team within round start, and that's just crazy. And um, so I tried to pull a win here, but I really couldn't. There was just too much going on, and the team I was fighting was actually made up of level 120s, so yeah. Anyways, I'm going to explain this game mode for those of you who don't know what it is. In this game mode, two teams of 5 players each fight over a contested area. One team will be defending while the other attacks. The attacking team's goal will be to deliver a bomb to either the Alpha or Bravo bomb site and detonate that bomb there. The defending team is to stop that from happening at all costs. Now, this mode is very competitive and will require lots of thinking and team play as well as creative use of gadgets because there are absolutely no respawns. If you go down, you stay down. Now, this may sound similar to some of you out there because this game was pretty much a clone of the classic game mode from the Counter Strike games. Now, I love me some Counter Strike. In fact, CS Source was one of my first shooters that I ever played, and obviously this game mode intrigued me. But I was worried that BF4 wasn't quite suited for a game mode like this, and I'll tell you why. Okay, the first thing that makes this game mode not suited for Battlefield 4 is the maps. The maps that you play on are just a small cutout of a conquest map. In Counter-Strike, each map was specially crafted for that game. And you can tell because there are 4 or 3 clear avenues of approach, and it's really easy to make tactics and say, okay, 2 go long A, 3 go catwalk, we're going to target A. But in this game, there aren't any of that. It's just a small portion of a map, which may be more realistic, but it doesn't really lend itself to a better game like this because there are literally thousands of lines of fire and long open spaces and just things that don't really work towards this type of game mode. The next thing is that you can't hear enemy footsteps very well. They're incredibly muffled and quiet, while your friendly ones are, noisy as all hell. And footsteps are really essential for a competitive shooter, and they need to be loud so you can hear them. And the next thing is similar to footsteps, and it's actually a replacement for them, and that's the involuntary combat callouts. Say I turn a corner and shoot an enemy who's peeked a wall. Now, if there's another enemy behind him, that enemy will then shout out in fear, involuntary of the player commands. So I will know that there's another enemy back there, and that is totally game-breaking. I mean, if I can tell there are 2 guys, now there's only 1 visible, there's a problem. Alright, now don't get me wrong, this game mode can be fun. If you have a good team, or even a team that just is all on mics that are friendly and they all work together, you can have some great times in this. And I've had some very fun game modes, but it doesn't really work. And like netcode, for example, is a much bigger issue in this game, because if you do a kill trade, it has cost both teams, freaking 20% of their team, just from a freaking netcode kill trade, rather than only one team losing someone. And there's also very little level balancing in Battlefield 4. So you can get a team of level 40s against a team level 120s, like I did in that first clip, and that's just not acceptable. There needs to be some sort of ranking system for this type of game mode. It's the only way I can see this ever working. Alright, so next, I'm going to tell you that gadgets, they do allow for some extra tactics, more so than what you would have in, say, like Counter-Strike. Like, for example, that UCAV strike in the very beginning of the round, like that I showed you in our intro. That's a very effective tactic, and it really gives you more utilization out of your gadgets and perks than, say, an average game. And Battle Screen actually has a nice role to play in this. It works really well and gives you a good amount of intel, and I would highly recommend playing this game with Battle Screen. Now, one thing I also don't like is that there's no text chat on console, which is what I play on. I play on PS4. And you can really tell that that's a big detriment to the game, because if someone doesn't have a mic, you have no way of communicating with them. They can't give you any information, and usually they'll have voice over IP turned off, so they won't hear your mic. So what ends up happening is you get, 2 or 3 guys all working together with mics, and the other 2 or 3 are just pretty much dorking around doing their own thing, not caring the world, just YOLOing it. And that doesn't really work with this game mode. I know PC doesn't have that problem, but console does, and I really don't like it. Alright, so the starting timer for each round seems a little bit too long. 20 seconds is a long time if you already know what your class is. Although it's nice if you have to change your class, I guess. But speaking of that, you can't change your match during a game. So if you are playing a game and you die, you can't change your class or your loadout. You can't edit any of that. You're just stuck watching the camera until the round ends, and then everybody gets to change their stuff. And that makes no sense. I would like to be able to edit my loadouts and refine my strategies as the round plays if I die early. Now I know I've talked a lot of negative about this game mode, and there was a lot to find. I mean, as I played it, especially early on, I was writing down tons of notes about all these bad things, little things that irked me, things that seemed bad for it, and I was really set on saying that this game mode wasn't working. It really had no place in the Battlefield game. But I kept playing it. I kept taking more notes. I kept playing it, and then I found this team which I'm playing with here, and these guys, one was a squeaker, of course, and then we had two other guys who were, nice people around my age, one a little older, one a little younger, and we all played together. We were all working together, even the squeaker, and everything just worked out, and I had a lot of fun on it. Like, we were trying new things, different strategies. They would listen to what I had to say. They would provide their own strategies, and then I would listen to them, and it just reminded me of Counter Strike a lot. And the more I played it, the more I wanted to come back. And right now, as I'm making the video, watching these clips back in, I go and say, hey, I could do better if I do this. And so I guess this video really should be more of a first impressions video rather than an actual definitive, is it good, is it bad? Because my very first impressions was terrible, and now I've been playing it more, and I'm actually starting to like it. So I'll leave you with, there are a lot of things that sort of stop it from being a great game mode. I don't think it will ever be a big, highly populated game mode with tons of full servers, but I do think that it does have its place in this game, and it's very, very fun when you play with a group of friends or even complete strangers all working together. I had a lot of good fun time. I had a blast making this video for you guys, and you know what? I don't regret playing it at all. I don't regret a single thing, and I'm actually gonna go back and play some more now, and just because I feel like I really like this game. So guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you all on the next one. Bye bye.